folks, I'm enjoying this heat wave. And I got woke up yesterday by the scanner, and kind of an interesting call. Kind of a complicated call, actually. It was kind of two calls in one. Somebody hit a gas pump, crashed into the gas pumps in Blythe, and the call came in as a man pinned against the pump. Second call came in for explosion at a gas station on Montclair Road, I think. I always had trouble pronouncing that one. Well, there's no gas station on that road. The address they gave was a farm, and I couldn't find anything. So Blythe went to the gas station, and we sent one of our trucks to Montclair Road to check that out. Well, apparently the gas pump was knocked over. 3 people went to the hospital. So I don't know all the details on it. I wasn't really fully awake when everything was going on, but it turns out I forgot to hit record when I went to bed, so I never got any of it. But Blythe was there most of the day. They had to wait for the pump repair people to show up, and OPP wouldn't let anything get changed until they figured out the extent of injuries and stuff like that. So Blythe Fire Department was kind of tied up there for a while. So our truck that was out was staged in Belgrave in case Blythe got another call. And I'm thinking to myself, I hope they're not in full gear. I couldn't imagine being a firefighter in this heat, all that gear on. That would be nuts. So about 1 o'clock, 1:30, I decided to go back to bed and get a little bit more sleep, because I'm not even sure how much time, but I got very little sleep because I went to bed really, really late. So then I woke up about 5, and I decided to go out eventually. So I did an evening tour last night, and I knew there were storms coming, but I got time. It said 11:45 possible storms, but it didn't look that far away. So I went for a bit of a tour. The clouds actually look pretty good with the sun behind me. The problem with the polarizer filter is it works best when the sun's directly overhead. So if I have the camera pointed towards the sun, it has no effect whatsoever. And very little effect everywhere else. I'm sweating like crazy here. And the humidity today is worse than it was yesterday. And there's a beautiful breeze out there. It's 32 degrees today. Currently, as in right now. And that's about what my indoor thermometer says here. It's 33 in my bedroom. It cools down to about 28, 29 at night, and then heats back up again. It's been like 32, 33 for the last 3 days in there. So there's not a whole lot of relief inside. But I went out, grabbed my Timmies, went for a drive, and I went down the school trail for the first time for a while. I'm thinking about it anyways, whether I go down there or not, so I figured why deprive myself of that for now. Because school's going to be starting up soon. I won't go down there when school's in, unless it's during the daytime when the kids are actually in school. Because about the time I go out, usually, is about the time school's getting out, so, you know. Well, it's only temporarily. They'll cancel school eventually again, just like they did last year. You'll see. So, think of what I did. Did an out of town tour to Mary Street, and I could see the edge of the storm coming. And then I got out to the highway. You can't really see it. I checked both cameras. Neither of them picked it up very well. But you'll see clouds off to the right. That's the storm. That was a very, very large storm system. It was actually a system of storms, not just one storm. There's a whole bunch of storms embedded in it. But basically, if it was a hurricane, then those clouds would be the outer bands. So it wasn't all that far off. Then I came back into town, and I noticed something really cool. I went to the McDonald's parking lot. I can't go on the left side of the road anymore because they've got a construction sign up there. There's black cover on it, blocking it until they actually need it, and there's a bunch of them, so they're going to be doing some construction soon. I'm guessing at the intersection, the highway intersection there, because that's where all the signs seem to be concentrating on from every direction. No clue what they're doing. So I can't drive on the side of the road because on the outside of the guardrail they got one stand for the sign, and on the inside they've got another stand, and they got sandbags. And I might be able to get through, but I'm not sure if it's high enough to get under it. So I haven't bothered. So I have to cross the road when I come through there now. And waiting to cross, there's a truck pulling out of Timmy's. So when he turns, check out the trailers on check out the wheels on the trailer. The ones at the front are actually turned, and the ones on the very back are actually turned. So they're not actually sliding on the pavement. I thought that was so cool. I wonder how they do that. I've never seen that before. On vehicles like cranes, when there's multiple wheels, all the wheels tend to turn except for the center ones, but I've never seen that on a trailer. How do you control that? That's actually kind of cool. So I stopped and talked to the gents on the bench. Reg is doing really good. He's still walking, trying to walk as far as he can each day. And we sat there for a bit, and Reg had to go in. Another guy showed up. Yeah, they're sitting there talking, and I'm turned sideways on the monster, and on the left I see lightning. Like, uh-oh. So I checked the radar again. It's almost upon us, and they've updated the possible storm time to 10:15. So an hour and a half earlier, but it's still, keep guessing, you'll get it right yet. They didn't look that far off. I don't remember what time it was at that point, but so I finished my coffee, so I went to Timmy's to grab another, and I could see the edge of the storm, and I knew there's lightning in it, so I might as well go check it out. So as I'm crossing over the road, just to the right of the pickup, you'll see a flash of lightning off in the distance. So yeah, I gotta go check that out. So I sat there, unfortunately with the fence in front of me like that. Anytime a car came in, I wanted to do a time lapse. I sat there for a little while. I wanted to do a time lapse of the lightning, but like I say, every time a car came in, the fence would light up. So I just kind of destroyed it. And I'm not really sure. The SG cam with the polarizer, it's just completely useless. But the H9R, which is better in the dark, caught a couple things before that. Shortly after I got there, a couple deer in the pasture below me just kind of ran past. I thought that was kind of cool. And then shortly after that, a flock of geese landed in the water. You can kind of see the streaks of the water, but it kind of looks like meteorites coming into the atmosphere. But what I thought was cool, I actually heard the water hiss from them sliding across it. That was kind of cool. So I just kind of sat there for a while. I didn't get to stay as long as I wanted to, because all of a sudden the wind started picking up and there was a dust storm all around me. I said, okay, it might be time to leave. We never really got that much. It looked pretty bad. Pretty severe, I guess you could say, on the radar, but it kind of, the worst part of it split and went around us like usual, but we did get quite a bit of rain from it, which was nice. But it cooled things down nicely last night, but like I say, today, it's hotter today. It was only 31 yesterday, and it's hotter today, but there's quite a breeze, so it's gonna be kind of nice. Like I say, I'm sweating like crazy right now. It's just, I can feel it running down me. It's sweating so bad. The humidity is so high, but that breeze will be nice because that'll evaporate and keep me cool. So I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. I got woke up again today about the same time. I scan her again. A medical assist. I lost another resident. But I didn't go back to bed this time. It was just too hot. I don't know why, but I woke up with the blanket on me. Maybe I got cold last night. I don't know. But yeah, once I realized it didn't stay on very long. So, not a clue what I'm going to do today. The Monster's a little more embarrassing to drive now. That loose bolt or screw fell out. So, the fender's rattling like crazy now. So a lot of times if I'm on the open road, I'll just stick my foot, rest my foot on the fender, and there's no bumps to knock my foot off of it. Keep it quiet. It's pretty annoying and embarrassing, but eventually I gotta fix that. I gotta look for a screw that'll fit that now. And eventually that second one's gonna come loose and it's gonna fall out completely. So at some point, I gotta get that fixed. Anyway, I gotta go out and enjoy the day. Wow, talk about rapidly changing conditions. It's just beautiful out there. Doing a tour, and I ended up going down the school trail today. I'm thinking about it anyways, whether I go down there or not, so I might as well, because I like going down that trail. So I did that, and then I went my out of town tour. Yeah, it's just kind of looking at the clouds off in the distance. Got out on the highway, and I'm watching the clouds. It looks like there's storms trying to form. There's a lot of vertical motion out there. So I sat there for a bit so I can kind of get a time lapse of what's going on, get a better look at it. Because the clouds, the lower clouds, I can actually see them moving, but the ones that are going vertical, I can't. They're so slow moving that it's hard to really register what's going on. So time lapse is good for that. And obviously they're vertical, so let's see what's up with that. And I'll just kind of throw that up in the background here. See how that worked out. Then I got into town, grabbed my coffee, and Reg was sitting out, so I sat and talked to him for a little bit. And sun went away. It's getting darker and darker. Looking, there's just dark cloud coming over us. I don't know where it came from. I was sitting out on the highway, I did not see it anywhere. And just, all of a sudden it was just over us. And then of course it started raining. So Reg went in, and I kind of got off and covering up everything with plastic, switched over to my waterproof camera. And by the time all that was done, it was pretty much over. So yeah, pretty nice rainbow. I don't know if you can see it in the video or not. So I went to Mac's, grabbed my milk, because that was the last thing I was going to do before I come home. And then I remembered I had to grab some bread for Ken. Can't forget that. I think I stopped at the dollar store. And I forgot today was Sunday, they closed early. And Value Mart is open later on Sunday than it is on Saturday. So I decided to try there. Nope, they were already closed. Everything closed at 6 today, and it was 6:20 when I went searching. So I had to go back to Mac's again. And grab a couple loaves of bread there or two for $5, so that's not too bad. I decided to go for another quick tour. Stop down at the dam. And I'm looking at the clouds, and it looks like there's more coming towards us. So I don't know where these are coming from. I said, okay, it's time to go home. So it was an enjoyable day. After that rain, the wind stopped. The wind is gone. It's just a very, very, very slight breeze now. And the humidity just shot right up. So I was doing good. Now I'm sweating again. That breeze was nice. Everything was evaporating. I was dry, hot but dry, and everything was really nice. And now that wind's gone, and here comes the sweating again. But it's summer. I'll take what I get. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch for today, so hopefully nothing major happens. We'll see what happens with that. I'm looking at my thermometer and I'm noticing it's like 28 degrees now, so the temperature's dropped. The rain dropped the temperature. It doesn't feel like it. No, it's still, especially when the sun came out, it felt like a sauna. It was really, really hot and everything's really damp. It was just weird. So I guess that's all I got. I don't think there was anything else I was going to talk about. So, one thing I do think of, my music licensing. I have a monthly subscription. I was going to cancel that until I decide what I'm going to do, because that's $44 that I can spend on something else this month. And when I went to cancel, they offered me 50% off for the next month, so I decided to do that. So I got the next month for half price, just to see what I'm going to end up doing here. So at least I can continue with that for another month. Because there's other things. I still haven't replaced that hard drive that I need to replace. That's one thing I wanted to do, so a little extra money won't hurt for that. There's a $79 one that I found that was 2 terabytes, so I'm kind of thinking of going higher. So I got a 5 terabyte, I think it is, for 119 is probably the one I'll go with. It's the same one, it's just higher capacity. It's a Western Digital Passport. It'll replace the one I have, because it's SSD, it's electronic, there's no spinning disk in it, it's just chips. And it just runs, it gets its power from USB, so I don't have another power cord to deal with. It's insane. So, we'll see what happens. I won't know until all my bills are paid whether I'm going to have enough or not. Because I still got other things. I don't think I ain't going to go with a different fabric. I kind of want to get that this month too before I put that up there to roll up. Because I don't like the background with this. Because it's a weird fabric, it's got a weird texture to it, and that texture is actually showing up in the video. And it's like I said before, I explained it before, it's kind of like a three-dimensional thing, so wherever the lights are, as long as you're looking straight at it, the shadow's always right directly in front of you. Move off to the side, and the light hasn't changed any, but the reflection is now. It looks like a shadow, but it's just the way the light's hitting the fabric, it's reflecting off it weird. So I got this dark spot in the center that's never going to go away. So I'm going to try an actual green screen fabric. It's 30 bucks. 30. Actually, I think it was 39, so it's probably 40 bucks. And it's 5 feet by 7 feet. And it's the one that I talked about. I'm not sure if I actually showed you. I talked about it. And it's got green on one side and blue on the other. And it's got grommets, like the shower curtain did. So I don't know if I roll the fabric up, if I put screws in or something for the grommets and I roll it up, those screws are going to leave indents all along the fabric when I roll it up, so don't know exactly how I'm going to do that yet. I think it's possible I could use zip ties, but if I use zip ties, I'm still going to have the same issue. I don't know. Because the only way I'll be able to actually turn it around would be to take everything apart and turn the whole entire dowel around, and then whatever I use to crank it will be on the opposite side, so I don't know. Got a little bit of time to think about that, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I guess that's it.